What is going on with this video? The image is all blown out. What's with all the white? I think I need an ND filter. What do you think? Okay, so first off, I found this ND filter housing and GoPro Hero 8 cover on Thingiverse and went ahead and printed them out. They're well designed, so I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, so excuse my mess, I was organizing and blah blah blah, just there's stuff everywhere. Here they are after being printed out, and here is a piece of 20% window tint that I'm gonna try to make my filter out of. And I'm testing here just by holding the tint over the lens of the GoPro. Alright, what I did was find a piece of plastic. This plastic came with something I ordered. I'm sure many of you have this laying around. Any thin piece of packing plastic or even plastic cases should work fine. You know, the ones that are a pain in the butt to open. Just make sure it's perfectly clear. I made that mistake, which you'll see here soon enough. Also, it took me a few tries to get the size just right, so pay better attention than I did, and it shouldn't take you half the time it took me. Alright, after you get a piece that fits, go ahead and clean it up. I used some rubbing alcohol and a microfiber cloth. Right about here, I'm realizing this piece of plastic wasn't as clear as the other pieces. But I had run out of the clearer pieces, so I decided to just push forward for the sake of testing and finishing this video. And now the fun part, trying to separate the tint from the clear backing. What a nightmare. Okay, so at this point you want to dip the plastic in some soap water and then stick the tint on it. The soap water is so you can move it around easily and get some of those air bubbles out. Once you're satisfied, leave it for about an hour to dry. Or you can lightly hit it with a heat gun or a hair dryer to speed up this process. Once it's dry, simply cut away the excess tint with your X-Acto knife and check to see if you have any air bubbles. If you do, you should be able to pop them with your X-Acto knife. Then fit it in the housing and check it out. Again, my plastic was blurry, but here's an idea of what it'll look like on and off. So back at the drawing board I go. I decided to try something a little different. Instead of using plastic at all, mainly because I didn't have any more, I decided to try to just stick the tint to the main GoPro cover. This cut out having to separate all the tint from the backing, which was a bonus for me. Anyway, I first tried sticking it with the UV resin, but that didn't turn out too well. And it was just an all-around mess. So I jumped over to my trusty gel superglue. I left that to dry, then cut the excess, and here's a quick test of the results of that. Now, this is a bit of a messy process, and the best looking, cheapest filters I could find on Amazon were around $30. So is saving $30 worth the mess to you? I say, if you have all these things lying around, go ahead and try it first and see if you like the results. Keep in mind, you could double and triple up the tint to get a darker filter. If it seems like it's not worth the hassle or you don't have all the stuff lying around like I did, then just consider buying some filters. I may in the future buy some of those filters just to do a side-by-side, like a bought versus homemade ND filter, but for now, it is what it is. If you want to see a side-by-side comparison of my homemade ND filter versus no filter at all, I'll leave a link in the description to a video on my other channel where I show you the comparison on a short scooter ride. And if you're not already, maybe consider subscribing to both channels. Alright, Thanks for tuning in. Catch you in the next one. And as always, have the best day ever.